Dear Princess Celestia, by Little Angel Stocking. Dear Princess Celestia, it's my time now, Princess. I'm not scared. We all have to die sometime, but I wanted to send you one last letter before my passing. Today I learned that even when something seems very scary, something inevitable, with the help of your very best friends, you can overcome your fears and face it head on, even if they are just as scared as you are. I remember my first day of school. I was nervous, scared. It was the first time I'd ever had to do something like that without my brother or parents by my side. I didn't make any friends, but I didn't have any bullies. And as long as I had my books, it was fine by me. I was never confident that I would pass my tests or get good grades, but I always did. And then the next day, I'd be terrified all over again that I would fail. I'd always come home with my good grades, my report cards all decorated with smiley faces and stars. My parents would always be so proud, and Shining Armour always cheered me on, telling me I could do anything if I put my mind to it. I studied magic for as long as I can remember. Even when Cadence would false at me, I'd always want her to teach me. Being a princess and a winged unicorn at that, she didn't know much other than levitation and love spells. Kind of funny, really. So I studied long and hard, learning everything I could from simple levitation to more complex spells. And so my parents decided to enroll me in Celestia's school for gifted unicorns. I never studied harder. I wanted to be the best I could possibly be. And that day, I stood before that egg with those professors watching me. I remember what it felt like it was yesterday. My stomach went from butterflies to tying knots and then doing flip-flops. I don't think I'd ever been so nervous. I was devastated when I thought I'd failed, but then it all happened so quickly. First the ground was shaking, then everything went hazy, and my magic went absolutely crazy. I remember power surging through me, being unable to control it. I felt magical. And then it was over, just like that. And not only did I earn my cutie mark, but you made me your student as well. Of all the other little unicorns, you picked me. When Shining Armour heard, he actually shed a tear. Can you believe it? I was both excited and sad when I heard I'd be moving into the castle with you. On one side, I'd be leaving my family. On the other, I was moving into the castle, living with Princess Celestia, not as a maid or a cook or a cleaner or a servant of any kind, but as your personal student. I never got bored, that was for sure. Thousands of books, studying magic and spending time with you always kept me entertained. And I think I sort of felt I had no right to be bored. You know, at first I looked at you not only as a princess, but a teacher. You were my teacher and princess of all Equestria. But as I grew up, I came to look at you as sort of a second mother. At first we had that normal teacher-student relationship, but you'd tuck me into bed when I was sad, read me bedtime stories and sing lullabies. You would pretend to be mad at me while trying not to laugh. I got into trouble. Remember when I was trying to sneak a snack out of the kitchens and fell face first into the cake the cook had prepared, and you walked in on me? I thought you were going to send me to the moon or something, but you just busted out laughing and wouldn't stop. The cook was angry, but he didn't yell at me or anything, though I was sure he really wanted to. Remember when Shining Armour got appointed Captain of the Royal Guard? I was so happy for him. I got to see him so much more often, and he was always so cheerful. Our parents must have been so proud. I'd never heard of there ever being a second princess. I mean, there was Cadence, but I mean, a princess who raised the moon. For my whole life, you'd been princess of day and night. It was just you. Thinking back on it, you must have been so lonely. 1,000 years without your sister. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be bringing it up. I remember when you first sent me to Ponyville to make sure everything was going well for the Summer Sun celebration. That's the very same day I met all the ponies I now call my best friends. I didn't care about having friends at first. I don't think I wanted friends. Every pony in Canterlot who ever wanted to hang out or invited me over to parties or sleepovers, I just brushed it off. I wish I could go back and tell them how sorry I am. And that night that Nightmare Moon returned was easily the best day of my life. I met 5 amazing ponies, all of them destined to be my friend. And you got your beloved sister back. The trials of the Everfree were trying, but we passed them, together, as friends, and stopped Nightmare Moon. Thinking back, did you know I was going to be the element of magic all along? Did you take me in as your student because you knew? Pinkie Pie was the first pony I'd met. She was walking down the street, and at that moment she saw me. She jumped into the air, gasped like she'd seen a headless horse, and galloped off in mid-air. I still don't know how she does it. She always knows how to cheer ponies up. She's always laughing, making ponies smile, and even the more serious things, she makes them seem not so bad without being insensitive. She really is the element of laughter. I remember when I first learned about Pinkie's sense. I didn't believe it, or her, even when all of her predictions came true. It was her that taught me that just because we can't prove something doesn't make it any less true. She was the pony who taught me to laugh in the face of my fears. Applejack was the next pony I met. She was preparing food for the celebration. Her whole family was there. I still haven't memorised them all. They invited me for lunch, but when I said no to Apple Bloom, she used those big puppy dog eyes. How could I say no to that? So I ate way too much. They all put something in front of me, and I didn't want to offend any pony. Applejack, element of honesty. She never gave up, no matter what was thrown at her. Be it a threat to her crops, or a threat to her family or friends, she was as honourable as you are eternal. I remember when she had to harvest the apples all on her own. She refused to let us help, and ended up half crazed from sleep deprivation. She fed half of Ponyville cupcakes filled with worms and other undesirables. Rainbow Dash, brush, bold and loyal. I met her when she crash-landed into a mud puddle that was in the middle of the street for some reason. It was her who helped me to earn my cutie mark. She helped all of my friends earn their cutie marks, all because of her sonic rainbow. Isn't it funny how those things turn out? She has a heart of gold. She was honourable, in a way, a unique way. She bragged, she was a bit stubborn, but she was always there for us. I remember when she labelled herself a hero, after saving Pony's life several times. She was so blinded by her own pride. AJ, Pinkie, Fluttershy and I dressed up as Ne'er-do-well. I'm honestly surprised the Wonderbolts never recruited her. Fastest flyer in all of Equestria, an element of harmony, and the only pony to ever perform a sonic rainbow. You'd think they'd have been all over her. Rarity to this day continues to be beautiful, and generous as can be. The moment she saw me for the first time, she dragged me back to her dressing room, and dressed me in all sorts of things, all because my hair was messy. You know, I think I still have the marks where the corsets hugged me too tightly. Ouch. She tends to overreact to small things. I forgot the plates. This is the worst possible thing. But I think back, that's part of what made her so endearing. I remember back when she offered to make gala dresses for all of us. We were ungrateful, and I still feel bad about that. But she went and made us the dresses we wanted. And they were, to be frank, hideous. But she made them for us anyway. That's what the element of generosity for you. That's the element of generosity for you. Fluttershy. Fluttershy was the sweetest, kindest, softest pony I'd ever met. She was so shy when I first spoke to her. She mumbled and hid behind her mane. It was actually Spike who coaxed her out of her shyness, just by being him. Apparently, she always wanted to see a baby dragon. She always had some problems to get over. She was always scared. And when she tried to be tough, she got too tough and then felt sorry and was shy again. A never-ending cycle, it seems. She was kind, and I don't think there is an animal existing that she wouldn't be able to turn into a teddy bear. Figuratively, of course. I hope this doesn't hit Spike too hard. He's known my time's been getting closer, but I think he shuts it out, refused to believe it. Spike has always been the most reliable little guy, even when he felt neglected. My number one assistant. He always been there, even when it seemed no pony else was. I really hope this doesn't affect him too much. I hope he'll be able to move on. Friends never truly die, not if you keep them in your heart forever. Well, I'm feeling rather tired. I can barely keep my eyes open, and my magic feels like it's fading. I'm going to lie down and close my eyes. I love you, Celestia, my princess, my teacher, my friend. Good night, your faithful student, Twilight Spark.